I'm joined now by Charlie Fellows to talk about the Henry Cecil Open Weekend here at Newmarket on the 21st and 22nd of September this year. Such an important weekend, but first of all, for people in the home who might not know what it is, just explain what it is.
So it's a weekend towards the end of September, 21st, 22nd of September, where basically Newmarket opens its doors. And in the past, that has sort of come with a slight caveat that quite a lot of the trainers haven't been involved, but it's changed this year. And as a result, there's just been a small change in format. Half the trainers are opening one year, half the trainers opening the following year, but everyone is now involved, pretty much. So the likes of John and Thady Gosden are opening their doors. Sir Mark, begrudgingly, is also opening his doors. William Aggis will be opening his doors next year. And as a result, these are yards that you would never really get to have a look behind the scenes. And what is brilliant about it is, number one, it's all in the name of charity. Mm-hmm. Everything goes to charity. And number two, it's a way that we can show people exactly what we do, show you behind the scenes how beautifully looked after these horses are, and how passionate the people that work in this industry are about everything that we do, horse welfare, and getting the best out of these athletes so that they're prime on the day.
I think this is so important at this period as ever, but society is changing around horse racing, and there needs to be that conversation between the sport, and which often looks in on itself, and everybody outside, and this surely is part of that, isn't it?
Absolutely, and it's only going to become more and more important. As you say, there's a lot of change happening in racing at the moment, and it's important that we're on the front foot, that we're ahead of the game rather than behind it. Because we're in a fragile state at the moment, and we need horse racing to come together and be strong and be proud of what we do. And we have a lot to be proud of.
And the positive thing is, if you look at the analysis of National Racehorse Week, for example, the number of people who came and said they didn't know much about horse racing, they didn't know much about horses, and they've left with such a positive impression of the sport. And you may just be reaching those people at that weekend, but it grows and grows.
Yeah, absolutely. And lots of kids come as well. It's a great weekend for kids. There's so much going on. And it's a really good way for us to get the future generation of racing fans, of jockeys, of stable lads, anyone involved in our sport. And there is just everything going on the Saturday. The vets open their doors, the racing school. If you're thinking of going into horse racing, if you want to be a jockey, go and have a look around the racing school. It is an amazing place. The National Racing Museum is open. And then on the Sunday, a lot of horses will canter up Warren Hill first thing. Most of the big trainers send out their big guns, so you can see them have an exercise. The trainers will come and spend a bit of time on the mic, which they love, despite their biggest protest. They actually enjoy it. And then the yards will open Sunday morning, and then in the afternoon there's loads of fun and games on the Several. So you have the celebrity show jumping, you have the Shetland Pony Grand National, there's dog shows, there's catering, there's everything there. It's a really fun weekend. And if you're remotely interested in horse racing, I encourage you to come along, because it is a wonderful weekend, all for a fantastic cause.
And how do you get tickets?
Tickets are online at the moment on the Henry Cecil Open Weekend website, and the money is now all going to something called the Newmarket Housing Trust, which is a new trust that's been set up to provide housing, and initially it's going to be sort of halls of residence for young kids who have just left home, who are incredibly vulnerable, who have never been away from home, been away from their parents, and rather than just shoving them in Newmarket and all of the vices that can go on in a town like that, they'll be in a sort of halls of residence at the racing school, where they'll be catered and looked after, and a bus to take them to work, just to ease them into life. And then once that's built, the project will try and acquire more housing around Newmarket for families with young kids, and for young people coming into the industry. So it's for a wonderful, wonderful cause.
And what makes you personally so passionate about this, Charlie?
I think it goes back to days when I was working for James Fanshawe as his assistant. We used to open every year. I'm incredibly lucky. I came from a very nice and comfy background, and this is a really good way of me just giving a very, very small amount back. So to be chairman of this weekend is a an honour to me, and it's been a hard work trying to get everyone involved and everyone on board, but I feel like this year we've really taken a big step forward, and I'm hoping that the future is really bright for the weekend.
Why was it hard work? Because surely racehorse trainers realise that the world is changing around them and that they need to reach out to the future and make sure that the sport still has its place in the future and maintains its social licence.
I think trying to persuade the old school, the younger trainers, they get it. They all open. I don't even have to try and persuade them. It's the older trainers, the trainers that maybe don't quite appreciate how much the world is changing, although I think they do actually now, that maybe just needed a little bit more encouragement. A few of them just concerned about large numbers of people coming around their yard. But I think everyone now appreciates quite how important it is, and with it all going to a fantastic charity, it seems like suddenly we've got a real swell of support.
Okay, well done for all of your hard work. Good luck for the weekend, which is the 21st and the 22nd of September, and I'm sure they urge people to buy some tickets.
Thank you. Can I just say one other thing?
Yeah, of course.
In light of events this week, I just wanted to add something else, because we've all witnessed the atrocious things that happened to John Hunt and his family. On a personal note, I lost my father-in-law completely out of the blue on Wednesday afternoon. He had been healthy and happy. We'd seen him last weekend, and I'd spoken to him on Wednesday morning. And I think one thing I've learnt this week is that next time you say goodbye to someone you really love, say goodbye to them and tell them you love them, because you don't know what's around the corner. And my thoughts are with my wife and her family, as well as John Hunt and all of his family.
Charlie, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.